Welcome to your Daily Writing Habit, episode number 465. If you're writing a book or thinking about it, or maybe trying to finish a book you've started, you are in the right place. Good morning. Happy Monday. I'm your host, Christine Whitmarsh, also known as Christine Inc., like that stuff we write with. Each day, I'm sharing with you the writing habits I've learned over my 19 years as a ghostwriter, book coach, and author. I have found that three things in particular have a huge impact on your success as an author, and they have the ability to turn a quote-unquote non-author into a published one. Those three things are writing fundamentals, productivity, and mindset habits. Here's today's quote. There is a difference between interest and commitment. When you're interested in something, you do it only when it's convenient. When you're committed to something, you accept no excuses, only results. Ken Blanchard. Well, once again, good morning. Hope everybody's having a great Monday so far. And rather than following our usual Monday format, I usually do 3 Pillars Monday here, where I share one tip in each of my 3 pillars for becoming a successful author: writing fundamentals, productivity, and mindset tips. So make sure you tune in usually every Monday for those. But today I have one cohesive message instead, and this is something on my mind, and I think it falls under a combination of mindset and productivity. So I have this extremely quotable author client named Russell Redenbaugh. He's the author of the book Shift the Narrative, and part of the reason that he's so quotable, he has one of his very quotable messages to authors is don't be a content one-trick pony, which means writing your book should only be the beginning of your content creation strategy. Many authors seem to think that publishing your book is the finish line, and he saw it really as only the beginning of the content that he wanted to put out to the world. So one of my other favorite quote/questions from the very quotable Russell is, he always asks, what are you committed to? And here's his exact quote. What are you committed to? What are you committed to having in your life in the near and long term? What have you been committed to in your life until this point? Look at what you have in your life. That is what you have committed to until now. Are you satisfied with that? Or are there changes that need to be made? And that's such an interesting quote because we talk so much about prioritizing and setting goals. But in reality, think about it, our so-called priorities quickly become the everyday urgencies that demand our attention. And these become easy things to say yes to. The everyday urgencies and the quote-unquote priorities, those are easy yeses because we can handle them, we move them from our plate. We're not really thinking about it because they kind of disguise themselves as, the responsibilities of life and adulting. And we're saying, hey, I'm doing life, I'm adulting, it's not my fault, I've just got to, handle all these things. So those are priorities. Our goals, on the other hand, end up becoming dreams and wishes for when the priorities let up, which, by the way, is never. So that's the trick. And that's why Russell's quote is so powerful for me, because it cuts through the unconscious cycle we find ourselves in and day out, kind of just chasing the quote-unquote priorities and urgencies. So asking, what are you committed to? And then finding evidence of it all around you makes you face that truth. There's no way to dodge it. If you're committed to healthy eating, your fridge and cupboards reflect that commitment. If you're committed to physical fitness, there it is on your schedule. If you're committed to getting enough sleep, you're going to bed at a consistently early time every night, one that gives you enough time to get the sleep you require. And of course, if you're committed to writing a book, the writing is on your schedule and you're working on it on a regular basis. Whatever you're committed to, with consistency, you will see the results of that commitment, which means if you're committed to writing a book, you will write a book. Now, I can't tell you how to push aside daily life responsibilities and urgencies. That's up to you. My role here is awareness. It's simply to pose these questions for you to ponder. What are you committed to? This question coming to you courtesy of, by the way, a very smart author who, after losing his eyesight and most of his fingers in a horrific rocketry explosion as a teenager, he committed himself to living in the sighted world, doing sighted things, with sighted people, with sighted goals and a vision for his life, just not based on his physical limitations. An author, Russell's an author who went on to become a successful economist, to serve on the U.S. Civil Rights Commission under 3 different U.S. presidents, and to become a 3-time world champion in the sport of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu against sighted, much younger opponents. So Russell can speak very truthfully and definitely walking the walk about what are you committed to, because this is someone who committed to shifting his narrative from all the reasons he couldn't succeed to all the reasons he could. And I will drop the link to, I recently did an interview with Russell here on the show. I will drop that link in the show notes. That's on my YouTube channel as well, the Christina YouTube channel. Very, very, very interesting man. So I hope these are questions that you'll consider today. What are you committed to? What are you committed to having in your life in the near and long term? What have you been committed to in your life until this point? And look at what you have in your life, because those are your answers. That's what you have committed to. Are you satisfied with that? Or are there changes that need to be made? Thank you for joining me here on Your Daily Writing Habit, where I am helping you write and finish writing an awesome book. And please drop by my Inc. Authors group on Facebook and let us know how we can support your book writing goals. Until tomorrow, happy writing.